Hi, welcome to Let's Talk About Death. I'm Tammy Beilstein.
And I'm Sarah Lunsford.
Yeah. We got a comment or question, what was it, on our Facebook page, that we wanted to talk about. Part of it has to do with a caregiving side and part of it with the mortuary side. Should we start with the mortuary since we're here?
Yeah, we'll start with the mortuary
So
side.
it had to do with involving friends and family and how much is too much. I would suggest when it is time and you need to go to a mortuary to make arrangements to bring someone with you.
Yes.
I used to do arrangements often at the mortuary, and there were times when a person would come alone or come with someone who maybe was a friend but didn't know personal information. And because it is such a horrible, awful, sad time, sometimes I would be sitting across from, say a wife whose husband died, and because she's in such grief and shock, she really cannot remember things like his birth date or his middle name, or things that she knew, as a note, you did take no thought at all before. At that moment, you may not remember. Those things won't come to you. So yes, bring people with you to help support you and to help you answer these questions and to help you when you're not thinking so clearly.
Yeah.
But Sarah knows a lot about the caregiving side and about friends
it's
maybe like hovering friends or friends who don't call at all because they don't know what to say.
They don't know what to say. And I think it's a little different between like regular caregiving and end-of-life caregiving.
Okay.
I think especially with end-of-life caregiving, people are very uncomfortable with dying. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do this, is because we think it's so important to talk about death and talk about dying. I mean, we're all going to do it one day. We're all going to get there. Everybody around us is going to get there. And yet I always refer to it as social amnesia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not going to happen to me.
Right.
It's not going to happen to anybody I love. Well, it is. But especially in end-of-life care, people feel very uncomfortable knowing what to do, whether they should, whether they should come by, whether they should not come by. They, a lot of times, are dealing with their own, thoughts about mortality. It's not in their frontal conscious thinking, but in the back of their head, I think anytime you go to see somebody who's dying, you have to be faced with, okay, this is a reality. This is something that's going to happen. And friends can sometimes be, like you said, the hovering kind, where they're, calling you all the time. Let's get together. Let me bring you coffee. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it can be burdensome.
Yeah.
It can be a heavy weight on someone when you're trying to take care of another person with everything that you have to do. That's so far out of your experience range anyway.
Right. And because you do need help sometimes, and other times you want privacy so you can get some rest or just have some quiet moments with your person, it's probably really hard for you.
It's hard
to explain to your friends how you're feeling on a particular day.
I mean, I haven't dealt with end-of-life care per se. My mom was ill for quite a while, and she still lives with me, and I'm technically her caregiver, which when you're a person's caregiver, especially your parent, I don't know actually what you are, quite frankly.
It's so hard.
Raising children is easier, I think, than caregiving your parents.
I bet.
And that's no matter what your parent is like, that's just reality. It's just the way it is. And that's not to say that the relationship is bad or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just, the dynamic is totally different.
Totally.
But I have really cool friends in that if I really need help, I can remember at least once where I was like, I can't deal with this on my own. Yeah. So I called my friend, and she was so funny. I actually asked for her husband, and her husband wasn't there, and she goes, "What do you need?" And I said, "Well, this is happening, blah, blah, blah." And my mom had gone septic is what had happened. So when somebody goes septic, their body is toxic. And I didn't know what was happening. And I knew that I couldn't move her. that was, I couldn't move her. And my friend came over. She was so funny. She goes, I'll come over right now. And I said, okay. And she was coloring her hair at that time.
Oh,
she
no.
was doing highlights. So she came over. She looked like a little alien color, right? She had these foils sticking out of her head. She was so cute. And she goes, oh, okay. And she was fantastic. So that's like the kind of friend that you want.
A great friend.
That's a great friend, right?
Yeah.
So
because I'm feeling really bad right now. I love you to pieces. I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I asked for her husband
I'd have
because
to
I knew her
with
husband.
Ritz or
Yeah,
something,
I knew that her husband would come, but I wasn't sure. But
right.
she came right over.
That's awesome.
And she was. My mom was insistent she didn't want the ambulance. And I was already calling the ambulance. But sometimes what happens is your parents or your loved one will respond better to your friends.
Yes.
When they need to do something.
Yeah.
Than they will with you. Just like your kids.
Like your kids.
Yeah. Your kids will go, oh, I'll get that A for, Grandpa so-and-so,
right.
but, they're like, I want the D for you, So the dynamic is a little bit different. But some friends, they really want to be helpful and they are trying to be supportive, but sometimes it can be too much support. So what I always found, I didn't actually have that much of an issue with that, but I know people that have done, and they just have to be honest and try not to hurt someone's feelings, when they're dealing with that.
I am afraid that I might be that kind of person to, if I knew that you were going through something really hard, I probably would be the kind of friend who's texting you, and if you don't text me back, I might
then you're like stressed,
worry, maybe I should go over there and check.
And then you're like, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, and I would want you to be able to tell me I need a day of quiet.
Yeah.
Can you help? Can you help make sure that that I don't know.
Actually, that's a good point. If you have a friend who really wants to help,
To have them come over while you nap.
No, what I was going to say is give them a job.
Yes.
We tend to want to do everything ourselves, right? And we really do need other people to help us with things. And if somebody really wants to help, just say, wow, I'd really love it if you, ran over and got Depends for me at the CVS or the store, so that I don't have to do that.
Right.
Because, you do need all these items, and sometimes you cannot leave the house.
Yeah.
And that's one way for your friend to help you. And a lot of times they come back and you may not feel like having coffee, but you end up having coffee. That type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, I'm that kind of person. I like knowing that I have a purpose and that I can actively help somebody, even if it were showing up. Say you wanted to take a shower and take a nap and not have your phone ring or have to answer your phone for a few hours. Like, if you gave me that job, come on over, just keep my mom entertained.
Happy,
while I take a nap. I would be so thrilled to do that. I would be happy. It would make me so happy. And at the same time, it would be giving you your private time.
Yeah. Unless you're like me and I have to be like out there with you.
I know you would.
Yeah. So it depends on the individual. So really, it depends on the individual.
It does.
And your friends know you, and you know your friends, because really, what you want in life is authentic friendships.
Yeah.
Whether you're caregiving or not, you want an authentic friendship. And when you hit the hard times in life, your authentic friends are going to be there for you, like you're going to be there for them.
Yeah.
Some of your friends, you're not going to push in too much, but you'll text them every day. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? Is everything okay? And you feel like kind of an idiot because, let's say, they're taking care of their mother or something. How are you? And you know that they're not doing very well, but texting it, you feel like kind of an idiot, but there's nothing else to say, right?
But I actually have...
To get the text is kind of nice.
It is nice. And on the other side, though, to not expect a text right back. I keep on saying this to you guys, but there are friends I have, love them so much, but I know if I text them back for anything, I'm not caring for anybody right now, but if I were to text them back right away, they're texting me again.
Oh,
And want that conversation back and forth, back and forth. And so I know that I have to wait until I have nothing else going on, because when I text this particular person back, it's going to be a while before we're finished.
Because you're having a conversation is what's going on.
Yeah. And a lot of people do that with texting and phone calls. And you don't want to feel like you're adding to anyone's burden. Yeah.
And I think that's the crux of it, is that you're actually trying to relieve them of a burden.
But you're sometimes
you're adding to it, especially when there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, if you have, to take your person to 4 or 5 doctor's appointments a week, and you've got to do this, and you're working it, because most people are working while they're doing all of this. Or if somebody's at their end of life and you have nurses coming in, you have the caregivers coming in, you have the people who bathe them coming in, you have the people
chaplain
who check, you have chaplain, you have friends of theirs coming in. It's exhausting. A lot of people, and it's exhausting. And most of us feel like, you want them to come in and at least enjoy themselves. It sounds kind of an odd thing, but
like you have to
make coffee or have a cookies, or I always get store-bought cookies.
Yeah, that's all right. I like store-bought cookies.
But some people would think they need to make cookies. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself.
No.
No. And just, I think, just be super honest with your friends as to what you really actually need, what's going on. And I'm the type of person that if a friend of mine would call and say, "Can I come over?" I'd say, "Sure, come on over."
Yeah.
And then later on, I'm like, "Wow, but now I have to do this and this and this and this into the evening, because I did that." So I think it's just super important to remember to know you can be honest with your friends.
Yeah. Let's make a deal with each other. When the time comes for that, we won't take anything personally. If one of us calls and says, "Can I come over?" and we don't answer, or text or whatever, we don't answer, we won't take it personally.
Exactly.
Because I know you love me and I love you.
That's right.
And if we are the one needing help, we will ask for what we need, and not feel like we are not strong enough to do it ourselves.
Exactly. Because you're not going to be strong enough to do it yourself. There's going to come a point where you're going to go, "I can't lift this person up this time."
Yeah.
That's
why God gave us friends and
exactly
family, so we can lean on each other and support each other.
That's true. That's true.
But
so make
again,
communication and authentic friendships, which is what you really want in life anyway.
Yeah.
Whether you're going through something or not.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes. Awesome. I'm glad we talked about that.
Yes.
I love you.
Love you too.
We'll see you guys later.
See you later. Bye-bye.